Man, a lot of people are sending me this video. The tone of it is great, but if you listen to it, it gets a little bit weird. But it teaches us a very valuable math lesson. Let's give it a listen, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
The Gremlin Street Gang is responsible for hundreds of violent crimes. Murders, armed robberies, witness intimidation, burglaries, drug trafficking, extortion, and brutal beatings. We've arrested 10 of these thugs and have warrants on 7 more. Every one of these animals is most definitely armed and dangerous. Darren Carter, Aaron Carter, Travis Cooper, Cody Guidry, Jaron Diggs, Kirkland Demichet, and Jonathan Landry. We have felony warrants for your arrest. You will be hunted. You will be tracked. And if you raise your weapon to a man like me, we'll return fire with superior fire. Darren Carter, you think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life and holds your gun sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away. Look at you. Men like us, son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any punk like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up. Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong. One last message to the Gremlins. You don't like the things I've told you tonight? I got one thing to say. I'm easy to find. On behalf of the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, the Louisiana State Police, the U.S. Marshals, and every cop and law-abiding citizen from sea to shining sea, I'm Captain Clay Higgins, asking every patriot to stand up, share this video, and send a clear message to the world. We're Americans. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees.
I happen to like sheriffs who talk tough against crime. So good for you, Sheriff. But let's talk about the math question first. So here the trolls are always telling me, Kyle, you don't know the numbers. So I'll post 1,000 videos or videos of 1,000 examples of black mob violence and black on white crime. And they post one. And they said, see, we told you, Colin, told you, white people do it too. So in other words, their one equals my 1,000. The mathematics of that are a little bit dubious to me. But let's ask a mathematical question about this video. Sheriff arrested 10, has warrants out for 7 more. It's 17 people. 16 of the 17 are black. That means 95% of the people he arrested are black. And there's one white guy with some neck tattoos. Does that make this crime down there a black thing? Or does that just mean there's a lot more white people out there they haven't gotten around to arresting yet? Discuss amongst yourself. But I do want to ask 2 questions though. One, I'm glad there's a place in this country where all the black inmates are really, really good people, and they just made a mistake. That's why the judge tossed them in prison or in jail. And 2, Sheriff looked at it in the camera and talked about how people want to make this a racial division. No, Sheriff, we're not making it a racial thing. We're observing that other people are making it a racial thing.
What we have to do is end over-policing in African-American neighborhoods. When we talk about a criminal justice system, I would hope that we can all agree that we are sick and tired of seeing videos on television of unarmed people, often African Americans, shot by police officers.
Sheriff, there's a lot of reporters and public officials in this country who ignore, deny, condone, excuse, encourage, and even lie about the enormous level of black crime, black on white crime, black mob violence, and how it's wildly out of proportion. I hate to say this, Sheriff, but for all the tough talk in your video, you actually came extremely close to... No, you didn't come close to do it. You did it too. So I appreciate all the tough talk. I appreciate all the, let's get them before they get us. I like all that stuff. But Sheriff, there's something going on out here in this country that involves race, that involves violence, that involves people afraid to call it by its name. I'm sorry to have to put you in that camp, Sheriff. This is Colin Flaherty. If you're ever down in Louisiana, in this sheriff's county, you might want to keep an eye on that speedometer. And if you're like some of the readers, some of the viewers on my YouTube channel who like to take some drugs and claims it's some kind of liberating libertarian experience, well, you might not want to test out that theory down there in the sheriff's neck of the woods. That's the first thing you got to remember. And the second, of course, is even down there where the sheriff says it's not a racial thing, don't make the black kids angry.